Subsequent impacts systematically neutralize the remaining active defense systems. The projectile finds its mark, and a key defense node on the island goes dark. The first wave of the counterstrike impacts the island's central power grid. A volley of projectiles claws at the sky, their rocket motors turning night into day. The silent island suddenly screams to life. A network of hidden defense systems emerges from the ground. And so, a response is unleashed. It begins as a whisper over the Pacific, a gathering of energy that will soon become a force of nature. In its path lies Thien Keem, or Heavenly Sword, a man-made island presented as a beacon of peaceful research. But nature does not recognize flags or intentions. The first warnings are issued, a prelude to the chaos. Inside, the protocols are followed, the hatches are sealed. But no preparation can truly tame the ocean's fury. The storm arrives, a force not of strategy or malice, but of pure, indifferent power. Structures designed to withstand anything are tested, their metallic sinews groaning under the strain. The island's placid exterior is violently stripped away, revealing the complex machinery beneath. Below the waves, the very foundations of the island are battered by the relentless, churning sea. The man-made skin of the island is peeled back by the wind, exposing what was meant to remain hidden. For hours, the island endures the onslaught, a lone outpost against an unforgiving natural disaster. Then, as quickly as it came, the fury recedes, leaving behind a profound and telling silence. The calm after the storm reveals a landscape transformed, scarred by nature's immense power.
The storm was terrible. Hope everyone is safe.
A high-altitude surveillance drone is dispatched, its mission to assess the aftermath. A routine reconnaissance flight, one that will alter the strategic balance of the entire region. The Global Hawk arrives, its powerful optics beginning a systematic scan of the island's surface. At first, the findings are as expected: widespread superficial damage to the island's infrastructure. But as the drone continues its pass, its sensors begin to detect anomalies.
Wait, zoom in on that section. Maximum resolution.
It's not a crack, it's a seam, the edge of a massive armored silo forced open by the storm. The camera pans, revealing another secret: the partially exposed blast doors of a subterranean hangar.
Authenticate the image now. Cross-reference with all available intelligence.
The data is analyzed, cross-referenced. The island wasn't a research station, it was a forward base.
Sir.
The realization is stark and immediate. The island is a stationary battleship in disguise.
7th Fleet, this is Sky Eye. We have urgent intelligence.
Admiral, this is not a defensive missile. Its size. It's a strategic offensive weapon.
The Admiral stares at the screen, understanding the full implication of what he's seeing.
We have a very narrow window of opportunity, sir. Maybe 12 hours before they seal it up again.
They turned that island into a gun pointed right at us, and that natural disaster just accidentally pulled back the curtain.
They've shown their hand. We have no second option. The strike is approved.
The ship's alert status is elevated. The Ghost Squadron is tasked for the mission. The objective is surgical, a mission to neutralize, not to escalate. A ghost's touch, not a hammer's blow.
Rules of engagement.
Only attack designated military targets. Minimize collateral effects.
A moment of peace before the storm.
They walk the deck, approaching the machines that will carry them into the heart of the danger. Inside the cockpit, the world shrinks to a bubble of glass and glowing displays. The catapult fires. The first F-35 is thrown into the darkness, a spear of advanced technology. The second follows, climbing to join its wingman in the moonless sky. They descend to the waves, engaging full stealth, becoming nearly invisible to enemy sensors. Below the surface, a U.S. submarine begins its own silent work, projecting a cloak of electronic noise.
Must be just atmospheric interference.
Inside the cockpit, the target appears on the heads-up display. 5 minutes to contact. They are phantoms over the water, two shadows moving with silent, incredible speed. On the carrier, every officer in the CIC watches the two small icons inch across the tactical map. The pilots see the island now, a dark shape against the horizon, seemingly dormant and unaware. The first pilot opens his weapon bay, preparing to release the specialized ordnance. The second pilot acquires his target. The countdown to engagement begins. 3, 2. The silent island suddenly screams to life. A network of hidden defense systems emerges from the ground. A volley of projectiles claws at the sky, their rocket motors turning night into day. The F-35s brake hard, releasing countermeasures that bloom like fireworks in the dark. A projectile detonates nearby, its shockwave violently shaking the first aircraft. The island's point defense cannons open up, weaving a dense web of intercepting fire. The pilots are pushed to their limits, their machines twisting through a sky thick with threats.
They've revealed themselves. Destroyers, support Ghost Squadron. Engage all air defense positions.
On a nearby destroyer, the vertical launch system doors slide open, ready for action. A new threat emerges from the island. A high-energy beam lances through the darkness. The beam makes contact with the second F-35, compromising its flight control surfaces. The island's defense grid is now fully awake, a hornet's nest that has just been struck. The affected pilot fights for control as warning lights flash across his console. The first pilot sees an opening, a momentary gap in the island's defenses. He fires a counter-strike projectile, aimed at the source of the defensive fire. The projectile finds its mark, and a key defense node on the island goes dark. A small victory, a brief moment of relief for the pilots in the sky. But the island has redundancies. Another defense system activates to take the place of the first. The damaged F-35 is locked onto again, its compromised state making evasion difficult. The pilot performs a desperate maneuver, a high G dive towards the ocean's surface. The pursuing projectile cannot adjust in time and impacts the water harmlessly. The pilot pulls up, but his aircraft is critically wounded, trailing smoke. The order is given. The mission for this pilot is over. His own safety is now the priority. His wingman provides cover, drawing fire and executing a perfect defensive break. The pilot of the damaged craft makes the difficult choice and initiates the ejection sequence. As the pilot ascends safely, his machine begins its final, graceful descent into the sea. The remaining F-35, its ordnance expended, turns to withdraw from the engagement zone.
Wait, what is that?
It is the fleet's response. A salvo of long-range projectiles launched from the escorting destroyers. This is no longer a stealth mission. It has escalated into a full-scale suppression operation. The first wave of the counterstrike impacts the island's central power grid. Subsequent impacts systematically neutralize the remaining active defense systems. The island of Thien Kim, once a silent threat, is now wreathed in smoke and fire.
They dared to strike! Mobilize the entire Southern Fleet!
In the light of dawn, a rescue helicopter recovers the downed pilot from the waves. But the new day brings a new crisis. The carrier's long-range radar detects a massive surface fleet approaching. The American fleet moves to intercept, forming a defensive line on the open ocean. The stage is set for a confrontation of a scale not seen in generations. From the opposing carrier, their own fighter jets are launched, rising to meet the challenge. In response, the USS Ronald Reagan launches its air wing, filling the sky with aircraft. A silent dance of intimidation begins as fleets and air wings maneuver for advantage. On the decks of the ships, weapon systems are armed and oriented towards their counterparts. Every sailor, every pilot, every commander is at the highest state of readiness. The two naval armadas face each other across a few miles of empty water, a void of immense tension. In the CIC, the Admiral watches the tactical display, the fate of thousands in his hands.
On the opposing flagship, an equal measure of resolve.
This is the razor's edge, a delicate balance where a single miscalculation could change the world. The focus narrows to the human element, a hand hovering over a console, a moment stretched to infinity,